sir.
Let's see, it says setting up the meeting on Facebook Live, down directing. So you see it yet? Hey, what's up?
Hey, how's it going, Angela?
How's it going? All right, so let me.
Called DJ Preto.
Oh, hold on. Let me get this going so then I can see everything that's happening here.
Okay.
So I'm gonna create a. Oh, how's everybody doing? We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. Hopefully, you guys can see what's going on. Okay. See, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. I got three screens over here actually. So just let you know. I got three screens going on at the same time. So
okay.
I got my big screen going on so I can see everything that's going on here. And there you are. I'm going to position everything so I can see some comments and stuff like that. And then I'm going to, cool. I'm looking at the comments and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and I'm going to start sharing it on my page as well. So if you give me a second, I don't know how many people have joined it yet, but I'm going to go and create a watch party. Are you doing the same thing? Just create the watch party to your.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Working on that.
Let's do that. I got 3 people here. I see here, so that's cool. So you guys, just setting things up because I know there's a lot of things that okay. So you start inviting people, and that's what I'm going to do. Start inviting people as well. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the front door. This is a one-on-one with the DJs. Created this concept here, but let me explain something before, this Montesser, DJ Kiss. Before I go any further, I want to tell everybody that, hey, I see everybody joining up. Hey, what's up, Arctic? How you doing, Michelle, Melba? So I can see the whole.
DJ Arctic.
Yeah, yes, it's all good.
My BFF.
This is our initiation show. And I picked out this guy here, but let me explain something about why I chose the front door. So, I'm in communications all the time, and you're also in communication with DJ Luis Molina as well. And me and him talk about it. We've known each other for quite a long time. And we're talking about how impactful we can talk about, because I wanted to do a DJ one-on-one interviews. And just, because of what's going on, I says, Luis always works the front door. And one of the things that I noticed that happens is that you've been at the front door many times at a Hamra, front door, and that's where we get all the information, right? Everybody BSing in the front door. That's what it is. So not only do we get the information about what's going on, but we also get the information before we even start the party. What do? We call everybody to the front door and we say, hey, this is what's going on. So this is kind of the thing where people don't get to see this part of the club business or the industry, because at the front door, it's kind of something that nobody gets to see because nobody shows up at the front door when we first open up, right?
That's where all the interesting stuff happens.
So first question. Hello?
Hello.
Montesser? Go ahead and let everybody know who you are, what you do, and blah, blah, blah.
So my name is Montesser Kiswane. I go by a lot of people might know me as DJ Kiss. Originally from Jordan. Been in Chicago. I was born in Chicago, but was raised half in Jordan, half here. Been back for about, I can't even remember how long. It's probably been 14 years. Started DJing about 8 years, and that's how started in the industry. I do own my own marketing agency and hospitality consulting. If anybody needs help with any kind of marketing, digital media work, you could look us up on Facebook at Design N. That's DSIGNN, or Instagram Design N Studio. Again, that's DSIGNN Studio.
So just to let you know, you got a lot of friends that signed up and stuff like that. So that's cool. Guys, I want you to
Always
like
good to
it,
have
love
good
it,
support.
share it, please. So it's all good, you know, seriously. So anything else, what kind of music do you play? I mean, you're from Jordan, right? So I'm assuming that you speak Arabic, correct?
Yes, yes, fluently. Read and write Arabic fluently.
Yeah.
DJing wise, when I first started, I think the easiest thing to do is to stick with up tempo stuff with a lot, music with a lot of beats, EDM, trance. So start off with that, and then slowly again, just meeting other DJs, learning new tricks, observing them. Slowly transition more into the hip hop. That's sort of the events that I would DJ at. And then for the past 5 years, I started at Martini in 2014. As Martini's a Latin-based club. So we did, started more focusing on the Latin type of music. Specifically the past few years, the reggaeton scene just, boomed like crazy. So, I mean, if you look through my music crates these days, all you're gonna see is reggaeton music. You don't really see much of hip hop.
Wait. So you said crates, right? What do you mean crates? Like
Oh,
vinyl crates or
no, just on Serato, just on Serato.
Okay. It's because because we come from a different term when we say crates.
No, when I first started DJing, it was just Serato.
Okay. So you're a young blood technically in this
Yes,
industry,
yes.
right? So that's cool. So so at Martini's where I think I met you. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's where we met. Yeah, that was the first time we met when you were, I believe it was Sundays. You started doing Sundays
Yeah, I think
at
so.
Martini, and that's how I met you. And then we slowly started talking. I have always heard about Salsa Tuesdays at Alhambra. I've been to Alhambra many times on the weekends before that. And then, you told me more about yourself and how long you've been there. It was like, whoa, I didn't know Alhambra was doing Salsa Tuesdays for that long. So pretty much came out, and then you were actually the one who introduced me to the manager at the time, where I actually started doing all the, marketing and website development and social media for Alhambra. So thank you for that.
No problem.
But yeah, I mean, it's been what, like 4 years maybe?
Correct. It's been about 4 years. Correct. 4 years.
Yes.
Well, Vinny from Martini's online as well. Hey, Vinny, how you doing?
I miss Vinny. I miss Vinny. I haven't seen him.
So it's been good. It's been good. One of the things I want to let everybody know also is because you're the newbie, but I want to say that I really enjoyed the fact that you were, there's a lot of new guys as far as new DJs, and trust me, and I run into a lot of guys, but you've proven yourself a little bit more because you've taken, you're a smart guy. I mean, honestly, that's the truth. You're a smart guy. You have a schooling, if am I correct? You're a very intelligent guy, and it's just not just like the guy says, "Oh, I'm just a DJ and that's all I do and that's all I am," and stuff like that. What is your background as far as school wise? What did you?
So schools, I have my master's from Concordia University. I have MBA with a focus in school management. Before that, I did my bachelor's at Northeastern University. So all here in Chicago. Again, just coming from a business-oriented family, I guess, and then seeing how the industry was, it was pretty easy to figure it out that the money's not in the DJing.
So you're not just a DJ then?
No. So DJ, promoter, I do my own events. I was managing Martini for about 5 years. That came to an end in January. So yeah, I mean, pretty much, dipped my fingers in a little bit of everything. Worked with all kinds of promoters, from banda promoters, salsa promoters like yourself, concerts, bachata, cumbia, reggaeton artists. We've done it all. And I think where I stand out the most is the fact that, very diverse when it comes to the industry. I don't only focus in one thing, which it's pretty good to do, focus on one sort of thing, but just getting the experience from all the different types of music and scenes, I think does help understanding how to, manage a club, how to promote your venue, to your crowd, knowing your demographics, I think is very important.
So, do you understand Spanish? I mean, even though you do all the Latin stuff.
Poquito, poquito, poquito habla español.
Okay. Don't
I
worry about it,
understand
you
more.
know.
I understand more than I speak. You know, I could probably, and we've had this at Martini 100 times where people would come and like, you know, complain, you know, whether it was a complaint or a compliment, whatever, just speak it to me in Spanish, and I'd be like, I take bits and pieces, sort of be like, okay, I think I know what this guy's trying to tell me.
Right.
But
Right now,
you know,
well, you know, I don't speak a word of Spanish. You know,
yeah,
I'm known
yeah. So we're
as
both in
a
the
big
same.
Latin
Yeah,
DJ.
yeah. I
So,
mean, even DJing wise, I get that all the time. Like, holy shit, like you're not Hispanic, and it's like, no, I'm like, but you're playing Spanish music. Like, okay, but music is just a feel. You know, you just get a feel for things. You have to like know your beats and just feel the music. I mean, honestly, I always tell people. People always ask me like, hey, I want to become a DJ. Like, do you think it would work? I tell them there's no in between. You either got it or you don't. You either got it or you don't. There's no in between.
well, I'm just letting you know, we got a lot of people joining in. If you guys are just tuning in right now, just want to just recap them. This is our first one. We're doing a DJ one-on-one. You know, you know, be honored because you're a list of almost 30 guys already signed up. I got all the way to May 20th now signed up. So it's just quite a few people have signed up for every day. We got some great people that we're going to be talking to. We're talking to DJ Kiss right here in Mantasser. So, I mean, so everybody knows that. And one of the things that why I'm doing this is because, let's be honest with you, every DJ, and I say every DJ is doing live streaming. And you know, I do the live streaming from 12 to 1 o'clock. One of the most frustrating things is that Facebook prevents a lot of people from streaming because of the copyrights and stuff like that. And understandably, just like I was, one of the guys were talking about, copyrights are written for people, they should be get paid, right? And so Facebook is only doing what's supposed to be doing, stuff like that. So it's a little frustrating for us as DJs to try to DJ, and you know, and everybody, I get it. Everybody wants to do it. Everybody wants to get it, and everybody is stuck in the house. Do you have anything you could say about how this is affecting you? I mean, other than the obvious.
You know what? I mean, again, like I stopped working at Martini in January. I haven't really done anything after, anything major. So I've been meaning to take a break. So I think all the, you know, I was taking a break. I was in the beginning of taking a break, and all this happened with this whole COVID situation. So now I'm kind of forced to take a break, which is good, but it gets pretty boring. The fact that, you know, you can't see your friends, you know, you can't see much of family because, you know, like it's just, you don't want to get anybody sick. You never know if you have it or not. Just because you don't have any symptoms doesn't mean, you know. So it's pretty scary out there. You know, everybody has to be careful. I think.
Well, you're healthy, right? That's important.
Yes, of course. I mean, but I still think we're still a long way from opening up the economy. Me personally, I do think there will be a point, maybe I would say July, if you know, the earliest, that people will go back to their day jobs. When it comes to the industry, honestly, I mean, just reading and watching the news every day, I don't think the industry will go back to work. DJs, bartenders, promoters, anyone will go back to work till there's an actual vaccine, which could be a year and a half from now, because why risk it, you know?
Okay. So what do you think is going to happen with the industry as a whole? I mean, your opinion. You're a young guy, you're smart, so you know, I think is that it? That, I mean, people are just going to go out of business? Do you think that's what's going to happen as far as, because already there's people going out of business, and you know that, and this is affecting us.
Right. Not only in the industry, I feel like a lot of people are going to go family-owned businesses, though, you know, small businesses. Those are the ones that are hurting the most. You know, big corporations will get bailed out somehow from the government, but small business owners, like, I mean, I know they are giving out grants, but even for that, that's based off a lottery. I don't know if you know that. That's based off a lottery. So imagine how many businesses are just applying for grants and loans.
No.
and God knows if you're gonna get it or not. I mean, I have yet to hear anybody here in Illinois saying that they got a grant, business owner. When it comes to the industry, it's gonna be tough. It is gonna be tough
True.
because you do have rent, insurance.
Yeah, I agree. One of the things that I want to say special shouts to Fiona Ortiz. One of the things I asked through this courses that I asked if anybody wanted to sponsor the show. And Fiona, I don't know if you remember Fiona. Fiona's one of the regulars that got my, she even and gave some sponsorship dollars for the show and stuff like that. And I said, thank you very much. And she said, I wish it could be more. And I said, you know what? I think this also shows you who your true friends are. It's the situation shows you exactly who's really there to support you and support everything that you do and stuff like that.
And you know better than I do. In this industry, you either learn quick who your real friends are, or you have to wait until you get burnt a couple of times to figure out who those real people are.
Well, I think all of us have horror stories about the industry. Yes. There's good and there's bad. There's both. And it's tough. And I know, coming from a veteran, as you guys call me grandpa per se, I know you guys jokingly about it, but I mean, I've been in the industry for quite a long time, and I've seen so many people come and go. I've seen so many people really, just they're not good, and I've always said, you know what? Let them. They'll figure it out. Or should I say, people will figure it out. When you came new to the industry, did you have any concerns about that, coming in and saying how people were going to treat you, or how they were going to, if they were going to get over on you and stuff like that?
You know what? I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Did lose a lot of friends along the way. Some of it was my fault. I admit to that. Some of it was not my fault. It was other people's fault. I think the number one thing when you first get involved in the industry and you're starting to make money is you get greedy. You do. You get greedy, unfortunately. And it's a sad truth. Luckily, I was young when I first started. So, whatever moments I did go through, I did learn quick. Luckily, I had, a good support system around me, whether it was the owner, Martini at the time, and, good support system who would sit down and, like 1, 2, 3, you did this wrong, let's improve on that. So I'm glad I had that good support system around me. One thing that I did notice is that not a lot of people tell you what you're supposed to do.
You talk about other people in the industry?
Advice, yes, correct, advice.
Okay.
I mean, I can count on one hand how many people would actually give me genuine advice, and you're one of them. Exactly. I was just about to say that, and that's why me and you always got along, and we would have conversations daily, if not, every few days, where we would have conversations that would last hours, advice, pick each other's brains, whether, learning new things or learning about the past of the industry. I think knowing what others went through and knowing how they got there is very important. So I think that relationship with, between you and me did help me in a way to understand the industry better.
Right. Well, listen, and proof is in the pudding. Look at, for instance, Luis Molina and I have worked together with each other 18 years. Alex Perez and another DJ has worked for 25 years. I've known Frankie, Jay for almost like 14 years and stuff like that. All these guys, a lot of these guys, and I understand situations change. Different people go different genres, different ways and stuff like that. I still talk to Alex Perez, but he went in a different direction, and even though we don't work together all the time, and I use Alex Perez as an example because here the guy is successful what he's doing, and I'm successful what I'm doing. And I think that as long as you're honest with each other, that's probably the best policy for anybody in this industry that wants, other DJs, not just.
But that's easier said than done. That's easier said than done.
Oh wow, I agree with you. I agree with that. And you're right. But let's look at examples. So you coming from the young aspect of it, and I'm coming from the old aspect of it. Greed is all across the board, not just with DJs, but also club owners as well. Club owners, I can tell you all the time that a club owner gets greedy and says, okay, you know what? I don't want to, I've had so many club owners literally got rid of me to, benefit themselves and stuff like that. And here the clubs are closed already because they screwed up, or they do the quick money. Just an example, like, and nothing against the style of music or anything, but if they bring in the wrong crowd of people that walk into a place. Correct. And that's one of the things that I like when you were doing Martini Club, even though it was younger, it was 21 and over club and stuff like that. And my 21 and over, I was doing it when I was, back in the college days, I was doing 21 over, the old Tropicana Club PM days and stuff. That's way before your time. But we're dealing with college crowds. That's what we were dealing with. And I really want to say that pretty much a lot of my community that follows me have been college kids that followed me. And here it is, 28 years later, they still follow me. And the beauty of that is that they come in knowing that, and one of my customers says, you know why we go to the places because the places you go to are places that I do, is because we know the quality of the venues and the quality of the people you have. So we feel comfortable, we feel safe. Whereas other clubs, and I'll give you for instance, when I was doing Green Dolphin, the salsa night. That was right before I did Alhambra Palace. I was doing Green Dolphin on Tuesdays there. I stopped it. And one of my DJs, Luis Roller Rivera, and I says, hey, you know what? Let's do Alhambra Palace. And lucky for me, I would, they opened the arms for us and stuff like that. But I knew ahead of time. I seen it. I seen what they were doing on a Friday and Saturday with that crowd, and it was getting bad. And I said, you know what? Sooner or later, the city's going to close them down. Mm-hmm. And what happens? The city got closing them down. They got and I always look at it as step up. Okay, what do we do? What do we do? So in saying that, that's kind of coming back to my point with you. Where do you think the step up from all this is happening? What do you think's the next step for the industry as far as like you as a promoter / DJ? Where's your next step? What's your future? What do you think you want to do?
You know what? Me personally, I never in a million years when I first started DJing thought that I'd learn all the things that I've learned throughout the years, promoting and, managing a club. At this point, I'm not sure after this whole COVID thing if I do want to go back and dive into the industry. I wouldn't mind DJing here and there just for fun. But I think to be deeply involved and live off of it, I don't see myself doing that again. Just for the fact that,
because I'm reading something.
Oh, go ahead. Just for the fact that, having my degree would allow me, to get a job and build on that, not stay at a venue or live off, partying, let's say. And again, the whole marketing agency that I have, I do want to build that. So those are my real goals. And again, coming from, Middle Eastern background, that's not something that we look at, it's not something that people do for the rest of their lives, let's say,
So,
I think culturally speaking, I wouldn't want to do that for the rest of my life.
Right. So my cousin Rocio Prieto, she said she thinks that outdoor events will probably be more apropos as to indoor events, just because you have a space per se and stuff like that.
Yeah, but so didn't they announce that we were going to cancel all festivals this summer?
Well, I know that, but what I'm saying as far as where the industry is like for nightclubs per se and stuff like that, do you think outdoor events would be the first step as opposed to, I know they're canceling the events and stuff like that, but do you think the outdoor events would be easier acceptable as opposed to indoor event because of the close proximity?
Depending on the weather, of course. That's one.
Obviously.
And then two, just obtaining these kind of licenses, I'm pretty sure are very hard. a lot of people have tried, and I mean, if that was the case, I'm pretty sure people would have been doing it all along the summer. I know they did have their Reggae Wednesdays a few years back at Montrose Beach,
Mhm.
and then they canceled that because a lot of people were just, out there making a mess, smoking. So I'm not sure if that's even possible, honestly. I mean, I wouldn't mind it
That's what
happening.
I'm saying.
I would love to be outdoors.
So I was talking to Dylan's, and we were talking about, I think, for peace of mind for people. So for instance, we have a bouncer at the front door checking IDs. There's a guy with a wand checking for any, and God forbid that someone walk in there with a knife or a gun and stuff like that. But you have a wand for that and stuff like that. And I think what's going to happen is that you're going to have a bouncer checking people's temperature at the door.
Yeah,
That's going to be
testing
kind
kits
of
at
the
the door.
realm. But it's going to be, they're doing it in China as it is and stuff like that. And trust me, by no means am I expert in microbiology or anything like that. But I think in China, that's what they're doing. And what I don't understand is that, okay, I can see that making us feel more comfortable. If that's the case, how come they're not doing, and this is the question I would say, how come they're not doing that currently at Costco? Or they're
Because
not
not
doing it
everybody's
currently at,
symptomatic. You could take somebody's temperature. Not everybody's symptomatic.
they have the temperature, just where to touch it by the head and then it shows the temperature. They have the machine or something like that. I've seen them do it in China and stuff like that. But anyone with that temperature, they just make sure that it's okay. I mean, I've seen it happen in the airports. They're doing it as well. But this whole thing with the COVID-19 is also psychological, I think, as well, because we're scared. Everybody's scared. And let's be honest with you, between what's happening and, I don't want to get political on this, but I think everybody knows that this is scary for just individuals, scary for, I can't go see my grandson because of, my daughter's scared that I'm going to pass it along. And those are legitimate scares and stuff like that. So that's where I'm wondering, how is this industry going to get back to normalcy of everybody not being scared to walk in nightclubs so, I mean, that's what I'm saying. You're young, so you got plenty of time. Me, I'm going to be 56 this year, and I don't have that much time in this industry, but you do. So do you think that you're going to, the concept, like for instance, I've been doing the live mixing now for 2 weeks now, right? And I was telling everybody that, my Louis and Frankie and Johnny and stuff like that, I was saying, hey man, this is not what I do. I don't do this live, this live feeds and live, what you call it. But obviously, because of the industry changing, I have to change with it too.
Of course.
This is becoming new to me. So doing the front door thing is new to me too. So, it's a tricky situation because the way I kind of look at it, and this is before your time, I remember when we were making mixtapes, and I'm calling them mixtapes because, and here my reasoning.
You're that old, huh?
Mixtapes, yes, we used to make the mixtapes. And if I could honestly say to anybody that I made the first Salsa Merengue mixtape, and it was going to change my life, that was not why I did it. I did it for the fact of the love of the music. That's why I did it. But what happened when I made that mixtape? It got huge, it got big, how many, thousands and thousands of tapes that sold, and DJ Prieto was created and so forth. And all of a sudden it was like, oh, and also, and me 2 weeks later, giving my 2 weeks notice at my job and saying, you know what, this is bigger than I thought it was going to be. Hey, Danielle, how you doing? A lot of people signing up. So thank you for guys for showing up. So with that situation, I can say, like, for instance, me doing this show right now, is this what I'm going to do from now on at this point? I don't know, because who knows? I can get 300 subscribers. We can get, you know, and it becomes big and stuff like that. This show might be the catalyst of something that's even bigger and stuff like that. DJ one-on-one and stuff like that. I have another DJ that just contacted me, DJ Wetha. He's got me in, we're going to be interviewing Candy, the singer of Taps, later on, you know. So I mean, just stuff like that, because people want to know and stuff like that. And I think one of the things that's going to happen is also because we're communicating. I have a large database, so I think one of the things that people are going to want to know is that I love music. Trust me, I wish I could be playing music right now and stuff like that. It'd be cool. But because of the parameters that Facebook prevents us from always doing this and getting cut off, on his interviews, and you know, and I see other DJs talking to doctors and stuff like that. But I think it's more important that we talk about you, music, why you did what you did, what it takes to do and stuff like that. And I think this is why we got to do what we need to do, is communicate with people and say, you know what, we love our customers, we love what we want people. I know a lot of your friends have signed up, like seeing everybody, you know, so
I can't see who's watching right now, but shout out to everybody watching, especially if I know you.
So who would you say?
I said, especially if I know you.
No, but that's cool. That's cool. I mean, I want people to, and that's why I'm honestly talking to you, and I'm gonna be talking to the other guys, because I want everybody to know that this is not. We have one-on-one on top of this, you know, on top of the Witch Club. We talk to each other on a daily basis sometimes, or sometimes on a weekly basis and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And as long as I've known people and stuff like that, and thank God I have a really good rapport with pretty much everybody. I mean, trust me, let's be honest with you. DJs will hate on other DJs, you know.
You know what?
At the same time.
I was just thinking about that. I forgot who I was talking to earlier today, and basically, you know, the conversation came up of how DJs always hate on other DJs when they're at the club. You know, you hear them mix, and you know, whether it's the songs don't blend together, or you know, cuts off for a second here and there. You know, every DJ always tends to like make the comment, "Oh, I would have done this, I would have done that." But I'm hoping right now, you know, when DJs go live, they don't criticize each other right now. Just, you know, show some love, show some support. You know, we do what we do for the love of it.
Start liking it, start loving it, start sharing it, please. We do what we do for the love of music.
I'm pretty sure as a DJ, you've always had one of your off days. So, I mean, there's no need to hate on anyone.
That's life. That's life. You know, I think I think, you know, it was funny because like I'm a DJ and I'm DJing. When I think sometimes, and don't take it wrong, anybody, but I think sometimes what happens is that when somebody hears you're a DJ, because I remember this, and not to get rude too personal, but when I was going for this is when I was younger, and I told the DJ, I told the judge what I did, and they said the judge like prejudged me. He was prejudiced. Oh, you're a DJ. All you're doing is out there, you're dancing and you're having fun and stuff like that. I go, no, this is work. Oh my God. He says, you know, he has no clue that I'm DJing for a living. I'm DJing. This is not like I'm not in Miami, and we're not on the beach, you know, with all those things in our hands and stuff like that, and we're looking at us and stuff like that. This is a real job for some people, and that's one of the things that I think some people don't get. That a DJ, you know, and it's tough for DJs as well, because you know this, that some people don't make a lot of money DJ, you know. You have to do other jobs and stuff like that. So I know there's a lot of people that aren't just DJs. They're doing a regular job and they're DJing as a hobby and stuff like that. Whereas there's other DJs, they're doing this full time, and this is how they make their money and stuff like that. And I give them a lot of credit, because I remember, you know, I was making good money working at a place called Sigil Menswear, Bixby & Crothers, a men's clothing business, high-end clothing and stuff like that, making great money. And when I gave my 2 weeks notice, I remember my parents telling me, "Are you nuts? Are you crazy? You're throwing your life away, blah, blah, blah." You know, that was like the whole thing. And I was, hey, I got a Gonzo on the line. What's up? And so I remember that, there was a lot of like between dad, like telling me, oh no, why would you do that? And then all of a sudden they seen the money coming in and they saying, "Oh my God, I'm so proud of what you're doing," and stuff like that. And, on top of it, and this is probably a message to a lot of parents out there, if your kids want to be DJ, support them. You know who I can honestly say has been the biggest supporter, or parents have been the biggest supporter, and we and you know him very well, is DJ Metro.
Yes.
DJ Metro's parents, and I remember the story that Metro, when he was DJing for us at 720, he was underage. I mean, he was 17 years old DJing, but when his parents told him, "Well, you know what, if you're gonna do this, you're gonna do this as a career, then you're gonna have to practice. And you go downstairs and for 4 hours, you do whatever you gotta do downstairs." It wasn't like they just let them do it as a hobby. They said, "No, if you're gonna do this, you do this downstairs." And Metro will tell you himself that he goes, his parents, both of his parents supported what they did. And look at him today.
Yeah.
B96 DJ, the Chicago Bull DJ, the guy is incredible. I give him a lot of credit, but you gotta give the parents credit too.
Mhm.
You gotta get off of it because that's support.
Of
And
course,
for
the
you
support,
guys,
even the upbringing. Upbringing. I mean, just knowing DJ Metro personally, his cousin DJ Nonstop.
Yep.
Honestly, I mean, as talented and as well known as they are, and they're out there, they're the two most humble people that I've ever met in my life. There's not a time
and
where
super,
you could bump into each other outside, like like during the day, and the friendliest, most humble people I've ever met. And I think that being a DJ is not only about how good you are playing music; it has a lot to do with your personality. You can't just walk in and expect things to be handed to you just because you're the DJ and you could do whatever you want at the club. I feel like a lot of the young DJs, just watching and observing and dealing with them sometimes, they in the beginning they tend to walk in like they want things handed to them. They want free drinks, they want this, they want that, and it's like, whoa, 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 relax. That's not the way business is done.
correct.
I mean, I always like to, even when I'm DJing, even if it's a new venue, for example, I always like to arrive early, make my presence known, again, see who's in charge, be respectful. That's another, tip that DJs out there could, I mean, luckily I haven't dealt with a lot of DJs that aren't respectful. I never kept them around. But
Okay.
one thing, again, as a DJ and from a promoter's point of view, you were talking about not a lot of people make money. Being a DJ and slowly working my way up to, promoter, manager, whatever, I took it upon myself that I have to take care of these DJs because I know what the struggle's like. Just like you said, some people do it for a living, some people just do it for extra cash. And even the people that were doing it for extra cash have kids. You leave your house on a weekend, Angelo, and you know that. You're not with your family. That's precious time that you could have you could be relaxing at home with your parents, with your kids, with your spouse, with your other, and you can't do that because you have to go entertain other people. So the least you could do is get paid top dollar for it. And again, there were nights where, I'm pretty sure we've all been through this as DJs, where at the end of the night, promoter tells you, "Hey, it was a slow night, man. Can you take a cut?" No. I never did that.
Well, that's what I was just going to ask
pay
you.
everybody the same amount, what they're supposed to, whether it's slow or busy. Because trust me, if you keep telling them, "I got you next time," when it's busy, they're gonna expect a lot more, and that's where the greed kicks in.
Right. That's what I was just going to ask you, because I know that was one of the discussions that we have talked about, and anybody that's a DJ out there, we call them the $50 DJs, right? The DJs that will DJ for $50, and they basically will ask for, what we're asking for, a scale of some sort. And then all of a sudden here comes a guy and says, "Oh yeah, I'll DJ for $50 and stuff like that." So, and that kind of degrades the DJ aspect of it
It
because
does. It does.
I mean, I don't know too many people that are that, but I've heard horror stories in the sense of that. So how do you feel about those people that, DJ for the $50 per se?
You know what? I'm not gonna. I mean, if they're doing it on a consistent basis, like I don't. I mean, you're never gonna get anywhere. People are just booking you just to save money. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The first gig I ever DJ'd was for free. You know, but that was the first time. There are times where you have to, especially if you're just upcoming. I mean, I would understand there were a lot of DJs that would come in and be like, "Hey, just don't pay me anything and I'll DJ." And it's like, after a while with experience, you do learn that that's kind of tricky. Me personally, I wouldn't book a DJ that tells me that because something sketchy is going on.
Right. Now,
For
and you're talking to the
$50, that means you pay what you get for. You pay what you get for.
right. Well, I mean, when I worked in the clothing business, and I'll tell you honestly, you get what you pay for is exactly what the term
Quality.
was all the time. Because I mean, I used to sell Versace down to Karen. Those are high-end clothing and stuff like that. But the quality over the quantity, and that's one of the things that I think that this industry lacks in some of the events that I've seen happen, because they're looking as far as how quickly, how many people can they get into place and stuff like that, but they don't care about the quality of which card. So it's a twofold. Are we there to make money? Or are we there to do long term? So here's, you have both of those aspects of it. And, I seen it back in the days as well as today. I seen them both and stuff, and you say the word greed, but I think also it's people just like saying, okay, you know what? I want to cut corners because I want to be able to do something better and stuff like that. If you notice that, one of the things that I tell everybody is that, I had you working for me, Lewis working for me, one night it's like 5 DJs, I had 4 instructors, and and all that money I could be putting in my own pocket, right? But the way I look at it is that the more people are working at an event, at a venue and stuff like that, there's more mouths and there's more people that's socializing to get that people to come in. And there's more friends on top of friends and stuff like that. And, like, hey, DJ Poppy Mix just saying, hey, what's up, man? And, just different things like that, I think helps the industry as a whole, because I think that if you're looking out for number one, because that's what a lot of people are doing, looking out for number one, I think that's it. You're going to be a very lonely guy in this industry. Mm-hmm. Whereas people who are, and we know who they are. We know, we can talk bad about them and we can say where we're there, but we know who the guys that are looking out for number one. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I know you had a lot of guys working under you as well, being a manager, and just like me, you have other trades you do. You're just not just a DJ. In the course of a night, you have to bartend. You have to go up on the DJ booth. You have to work the front door. You have to, and trust me, and I know, and it's great. Whereas some other guys, all they do is DJ, and they play for that 1 hour, and they're like, okay, come on, let me go. Come on, I want to get paid. I want to get out of here. So I mean, do you think that with everything going on now, how is this going to affect all of that factor? Is that going to matter anymore?
I think whenever the clubs do open again, it's gonna be. I don't know. I'm still kind of indecisive. Is it gonna be like busy where everybody just wants to go out, or is it gonna be like people are still kind of scared and it's like, I don't know. But I do think that whether you're a DJ, promoter, bartender, I think everybody's gonna appreciate the industry more. I do actually believe that. I do believe that whether it's DJs practicing at home, going live, they have a lot of things that they want to show, the crowd what they could do. So I do think everybody's gonna step it up. I honestly do. I have hope in the Chicago industry still, even though we're an industry that doesn't support each other. Unfortunately, it's sad.
That's a sad reality.
Towards the end this past year, I mean, all you see is DJs from out of state getting booked, you know? And it's like, we have a lot of talent here. We have a lot of talent. We do. We do. But I think it's just, just sounds cool when you bring a DJ from out of state. Now, I would understand if it was an artist. I'm talking about DJs. I think this is an eye opener for everyone. It's an eye opener for everyone.
So speaking of other DJs and stuff, who influenced you? Who influenced you in this industry? I mean, when you started, now, and
I think when I started, first DJ I actually met was DJ Arctic.
Okay.
We were at it was an event that I got booked for, and I only got booked because I had the cool equipment. I had the CDJs. That's the only reason. They had me pre-open. The party started at 9. They put me to DJ at 8:30. So.
Of course.
And then I met Arctic. He walked in, and he had this little controller, little baby controller. And I looked at him, and I'm like, "What the hell is this guy doing? He probably doesn't even know how to DJ." And then I hear him like, his little wiki scratching, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, I see you." And then we became friends. Started learning things from him. He introduced me to DJ Shame, like DJ Young, a lot of other DJs that I think just observing everyone and learning things here and there. I always compliment myself that I get along with everyone. So just getting along with everyone, I got a chance to learn different things from people.
Cool.
But I think lately, or my style of music, let's say, I do listen a lot to DJ Metro, obviously, Chicago. Another DJ from Chicago that I do listen a lot to is DJ Mr. Shaw. So I think those are the two most DJs that I like, that I actually go out of my way to listen to their mixes. Just for the fact that I kind of relate the taste of music, let's say, that I like listening to, learning new things, songs that go well together. Always on Sirius XM in my car, whenever in my car, 2 o'clock. I think he's from LA, DJ Santa Rosa.
Okay.
Another, so yeah, I think, that pretty much sums it up. Those are the DJs that I look up to when it comes to music wise.
So I got a question for you.
Uh-huh.
How is it DJ Kiss? Where did that come from?
Okay. So my last name is Kiswani.
Okay, no problem.
So in high school, my friends used to call me Mr. Kiss, or in Arabic, Abul Kiss, which means Mr. Kiss.
Okay.
So when I first moved to Chicago, actually, so Muntasir means victorious. So I used to go, just working, I used to go by Vic. That because my name is too long, I used to shorten it by just telling people my name is Vic. So when I started DJing, it was like, all right, now I need a DJ name, DJ Vic. But I was like, no, it doesn't sound right, It was just going back and forth. And then my roommate at the time was one of my buddies from high school. He's like, dude, we always call you Kiss. Like, what's wrong with that? And I'm like, you know what? Okay, pretty catchy. And it's funny because nobody calls me by, I think you and Lewis are the only people that call me by my real name. Everybody else calls me Kiss. Like, if anybody came and asked me in person at Martini, I always knew it was either you or Lewis because nobody else knows my name.
Well, I mean, the same thing, like people that call me Angelo, or people that have known me for years, back in the days before I was DJ Prieto.
Yeah.
And we could go through that story about how that all happened, stuff like that. But I mean, honestly, people don't know me as Angelo, they call me, Prieto. They call me Prieto. And obviously Prieto's my last name, and that's why I did it.
But you know what? I've never heard you call me Kiss. You always call me by my first name.
Yeah, I know. I always, it just feel more proper with it and stuff like that.
I mixed it up with you.
I feel kind of weird calling another guy Kiss.
Yeah. You know what's funny? A lot of people, when I would introduce myself at the club, I'd be like Kiss, and then they look at me and be like, no, I'm not trying to kiss you. Like, that's my name.
Are you talking about girls?
No, guys.
Okay.
Can't talk about girls right now.
Oh, so the girls, it's okay then.
No,
I'm gonna get you in trouble.
No.
That's cool. I mean, that's what I was just saying. Now, one of the things I was going to say to you is that if what would you consider your highlights of your career at this point? I mean, it's very
In the industry.
short, but I mean, in your industry, yeah. What would you consider you like? You would say like, oh wow, this is the highlight of what you've done at
I
this point.
think the concert that we did last year in May, when we had Toby Love, April, it was,
Oh, okay.
yeah, it was
So
the
what
weekend.
what happened? What happened?
It was very successful. I didn't even think it was going to be that big.
What's successful? I mean, talk to me.
So
What's
again, working at Martini, you have to, knowing, for the people that do know Martini, it's 80% Mexican based demographic, customers that we have coming in. We do cater, till now they do cater to a lot, banda events almost
okay?
on a weekly basis. Uh, Me personally, I've always done events that had to do with hip hop, reggaeton. I never ventured into the bachata, salsa, industry. So just and that was my first concert too that I actually did. That was my first concert that it was like, all right, the owner at the time, Javier, gave me the green light, and he said, you know what, I have faith in you. Do what you got to do. See what artists you have in mind. And I think it was you that me and you spoke about, and it was like, hey, what artist would you bring? And we sort of like brainstormed, artists that would, do good. And Toby Love's name came out. Of course, got in contact with management, everything, and just the way we marketed it as a team. Everybody that was working at the club at the time, from bartender to servers, bottle girls, everybody sold tickets. I was amazed, like teamwork. I
Well,
don't like to
I
think.
think that.
Yeah, I don't take all the credit to myself. I mean, I want to say we had almost 700 people for the concert. I want to say a good
Good. That's good.
150, 200 tickets were sold by the girls that work at the club.
Wow.
So it was amazing. It was amazing experience. Just the fact that you see that, because we promoted it for a good 2 months. So it's like all the effort, the time that it took. It's not easy. People think, we throw events and we just sit at home. I talk to this with DJ Arctic all the time. Like, when he started doing his events, he was like, dude, like I didn't imagine it was so much work behind the scenes during the week. Because it is. Just posting something doesn't take a second. You have to think about what you're gonna post, the hashtags, post it on Instagram, Facebook, event page, send out emails, send out text blasts. All that's time consuming. So I think the turnout
Well,
was pretty good, and got a lot of props from everyone. Even Toby Love and his manager himself, they're like, wow, this was an amazing show. So yeah, I think that was the highlight of my, everything so far.
and then this
Highlight of my
happens.
industry career.
Yeah, I know. This is yeah. This is just. So I mean, are you guys how are you dealing with this personally? I mean, what are you doing on a daily basis for you? What are you trying to? Because I don't think I've seen you do any of the live stream yet.
No, you
I
know
haven't
what?
seen you
So
do
I have the equipment. I just don't have, a speaker at the time. I've been asking. I don't know if you know him, Johnny Five. If you're watching Johnny Five, I still need that speaker. uh, Shout out to Johnny. Yeah, but I've been working on that because I actually want to teach Rihanna's daughter how to DJ.
Okay.
So that's. I mean, she's 9 years old right now. She loves music, the opposite of her mother. Yeah, like so, and
Someone
just knowing
sleeping on the
her,
couch tonight.
she's good at math, she's good at school, so I feel like she has it in her. She has that rhythm, so I feel like she has it in her to be a good DJ. So actually, I want to get a speaker just to have fun at home, not to live stream. I don't think. I mean, if I'm gonna live stream, like it came up a few times. Other DJs talk to them. Like I want something like professional. Like I don't want to just turn on my phone. I'd rather do it right. But yeah, I do want to teach Eliana's daughter how to DJ. That's gonna be my next project. So I might not be in
Well,
the front line, but we'll
well, there's not a lot of female DJs out there.
There's not a lot of
I
female
know.
DJs, and then she's still 9, so
Right. So I mean, how old were you when you first started DJing per se? What can you say
I
your
was old.
first?
Well, not old, but I was 21, 22. I was 22.
Okay. So I mean, so I can tell you my story when I was 14 years old, and in fact, one of the DJs we're going to be talking to is Mario Reyes, is one of the DJs as well, but he was there since my high school days. And I could tell you that I picked up my first vinyl and I bought a turntable and I had the radio and I'm kind of playing and whatever vinyls I had, I would play and do my knob where you can hear the radio at the same time and I would beat match. Where was your first time? Yeah, you said, okay, because I mean, at your age, 21, that's older for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So what made you want to be a DJ? I mean, why?
Well, I always loved music. Something not a lot of people know, actually. Both my grandfathers, my mom's side and my father's side, have always been in the music industry, or somewhat. So my grandfather was actually, he still is, he was like a very popular singer back in the day in Jordan.
Wow.
Yeah, very popular. Like, we're talking about like the Backstreet Boys right now,
What's his name?
Muhammad Wahib.
Okay, so Google that.
YouTube it, yeah. You see videos from the 60s, like his music videos in black and white, yeah.
Wow.
He was pretty, handsome man. I kind of look like him. And then my grandfather from my mother's side was actually, I don't know what they call him exactly, but he was in the army, and he would like guide the musicians that would play the national anthems.
Okay.
Sort of like the symphony type of thing where they move their hands.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. I'm not sure what they call them, honestly. But yeah, he did that. I do have an uncle that plays the guitar, and he worked at clubs in Jordan for like since I could remember.
So you come from a musical family then?
Yes, but DJing was the first time, I think, and it was more like, I mean, again, I've always loved music. I was just sitting at home one day and I was bored playing PlayStation. I just got tired of playing Guitar Hero. So I went to Best Buy and I picked up DJ Hero.
Really? DJ Hero?
Yeah. So it's like a little mini turntables that have buttons, and you just gotta hit the buttons and follow, just like Guitar Hero. But it's a little turntable. And then just doing that, I'm like, man, I wonder what it would feel like to DJ for real,
Okay.
I bought myself a little controller, had no idea what the hell I was doing. No idea. So that was a fail. Tried watching YouTube videos and everything. The whole concept of beat matching just didn't, I'm more of a person that needs to be shown how to do something at first, and then I take it from there. But, so I needed that hands-on training, let's say. So there's a website, I don't know if it's still up or not. It's called DJ for Life Academy. So basically it's an instructor in every city, and you sign up for and they had different stages, but I took stage 1. And it was an 8-hour course, like 2 hours every week. Her name was DJ Zita Zai. She's a trance producer. So I'd go to her studio, and pretty much the 8 hours literally consisted of how to hook up your CDJs to your laptop, to your Serato box, and how to beat match. And that was it. So obviously after that, that was it. So obviously after I finished the 8 hours, I bought myself CDJs.
You did 8 hours only?
8 hours only. 8 hours only. Bought myself CDJs, mixer. Bought myself a new Apple laptop because I heard that Apple laptops, you can't get viruses. Serato's the best. Got basically spend like $4,000 or $5,000 at the age of 22. Like I put so much debt on myself. And I was in college at the time. Like thinking about it right now, like what were you thinking? Pretty much just started practicing at home, and all I would practice was how to beat match. I didn't know what transitioning was, smooth transitioning. And then I DJ'd one time at a hookah bar. It was a good event. And then after that, I met Arctic. Like the word got around that this guy has equipment from I don't know who. So one of my friends hit me up. He said, "Hey, one of my buddies is throwing a party, and he needs equipment. Are you willing to rent them out?" Yeah, sure. And then again, just met other DJs and slowly just observing. I think the three most people that I observed throughout the first year and a half and just learning from were Arctic, DJ Shame, and DJ Young. I think those were the three people that, pretty much taught me the basics and the most, the fundamentals of what I know today.
Oh, very cool. Hey, listen, I mean, we got about 5 minutes left. Hey, listen, and you asked about how long we were gonna stay on. I know that Zoom gave 40 minutes, but I told you that because of the COVID-19 thing, they're extending it and stuff like that. So if you guys are just joining in, this is what we're going to be doing every day at 8 o'clock. And this is my first guest, is DJ Kiss. If we're going to replay this and stuff like that. We're going to have this going on. But every day I'm going to have a new DJ that I'm going to be interviewing. And, one of the things I'm going to basically say something why I'm doing this, and for you as well. So I don't know, me and you talked about this, but I don't know if everybody knows that I was recognized by the Chicago Salsa Congress last year for, it's called Keeper of the Flame. And this is the award that they gave me and stuff like that. And basically recognized that I kept salsa going and stuff like that. And it was cool. And I really appreciate that as well, because, everybody likes to be recognized. And that's one of the things what I'm doing here is recognizing talent. And there's guys out there that I've known for 35 years. There's guys that I've known for 4 years, being DJ Kiss and stuff like that. But I'm always going to try to pay it forward to the guys that are out there. And, everybody knows me as the DJ. They love, I play the salsa, merengue, the house, the hip hop, reggaeton, the kazumba, I play a little bit of everything. But I think it's just not about me. I feel. I think it's about industry as a whole. And that's why I'm doing this. And, Kiss, I mean, like I said, I'm happy that you're the first guest.
Thank you.
That we're doing this. I'm going to save this, put this on YouTube as well and stuff like that, so that we have it archived as well. Who knows where this is going to go? Who knows where this is, and who knows where this all is going to happen from the future and stuff like that. But I just got from Gonzo, DJ Caesar from 720, DJ Chicago, all these guys. I mean, my God, I'm going to be interviewing people. One of the guys that we're excited to be interviewing that's going to be next month is Benji Espinosa from DJ International Records. Okay. And even though he's not a DJ, he's the one who brought Chicago house music to the world. Just to give you an idea. And you're growing up here in Chicago, it's very important, house music. I mean, and I started as a house DJ into the Latin, and we know that when it comes to DJing, Chicago's known for house music. So this is just not just about one side of music and stuff like that, because we could talk about the reggaeton movement that's happened here. That, going back 5 years ago.
Whenever I think of reggaeton, I remember that conversation we had. We were going to Alhambra together, and Despacito had just came out. And I had heard it, but I didn't really pay attention to it. And you told me, you said, "Hey, you need to start focusing on the reggaeton. This is what's becoming popular." And this song, this was a week until it came out. Nobody knew it yet because Justin Bieber wasn't on it yet.
Yep.
You said this song is gonna be the shit, and from this, there's gonna start a whole new scene in the reggaeton. I'm like, I don't think so. 2 months later, everything blew up.
Well, Justin Bieber also helped with that as well.
Yeah, I mean, 2 months later, Justin Bieber's the one that hopped on it. That's what I'm saying. Everything blew up after that. But yeah.
Well, I mean, and I can honestly say that, the same thing happened with Suavemente for merengue. That was there's not a wedding that you can't go to while hearing Despacito or Suavemente or Los Dueños del Swing, stuff like that. Those are staples and stuff like that. La Macarena, per se, and stuff
but
like that.
Let me ask you this, Angelo, out of experience. How long do you see this reggaeton scene being as big as it is right now?
Well, here, I mean, time's almost up, but but I can tell you what's happening with the reggaeton movement. I see it. It's evolving. It's changing. I mean, you know, so at one point, reggaeton sounded so much the exact same. And now, and I remember when reggaeton first came out, and we're talking about good 25 years ago. This is way big. It was from Puerto Rico, and it was Ivy Queen and Baby Russ and Ringo and Tego Calderon and stuff like that. It was really raunchy. And then here comes Wisin and Yandel, where they're singing and stuff like that. Now, look who's taking over the reggaeton. The women are taking over the reggaeton movement. Becky G and Carol G and all this. And so now reggaeton is sexy. It isn't just guys, it's girls and stuff like that. And you're seeing even the pop artists starting to jump on this reggaeton. So I mean, one of the things that, you know, we're going a little over time, but you know, no problem, because this is our first one. I even think that you know, I can honestly say, I remember this, that there would be radio stations that would clearly never put a Latin song on an English station, a pop station.
Oh.
You know, I mean, I remember, and this is a true story. I went up to the program director, hey, Ricky Martin came out with this thing called Maria, and they're like, we'll never do it. And then what happens? He wins the Grammys, and all of a sudden they start playing it. I says, man, I says, this is so, you know, or like Macarena, you know, it takes it to become explosion, and that's Despacito. It became an explosion. All of a sudden now everybody's played it. Everybody's doing it. Mm-hmm. And why do you think Justin Timberlake jumped on it? But I mean, I think reggaeton pop is we evolve. I think, you know, in the end note of this, I think the same thing with us here in the world when it comes to the industry has to evolve. The same thing happened, you know, this explosion of this virus happening causes other things to happen. And I think this is where this is going to change the industry. It's just a matter of how we change with it and what we do with it. I think that's what's important. So the time is up. Do you have anything last to say and stuff like that?
I just want to thank everybody that, you know, tuned in. Again, if you know me or you don't know me, if you ever need advice to anything that has to do with DJing, managing a club, promoting, feel free to always message me, whether I know you or not. I mean, always 100% will give you all the information that you need without, you know, screwing you over like others do.
All right, guys. Well, thank you guys, everybody that showed up. I mean, God, I'm dealing with 3 different monitors at this point right now. But I mean, I thank you for my first show. Thank you very much.
One last question, Angelo.
Pardon me?
One last question. Who's in the picture behind you? Just curious.
That's my mom.
Okay.
Oh, you're talking about this one or this
one?
Yeah.
No, I know. No, I know who that is. The other picture in the frame.
Okay, that's my mom, my daughter, and my son. Okay. That's my picture that I have with it. You know, that's I keep that always. That's when my mom passed away last year. This is the one that, you know, I always keep, and it's one my daughter always, you know, cherishes. It's one of the best memories of it. But thank you for asking. No, thank you, appreciate that.
No problem.
All right, guys, thank you. This is the front door. We're going to be doing it. I appreciate it very much. Thank you, guys. And we'll see you guys. Good night.